Katrina's hair hangs down around her face. She likes the way it blocks her peripheral vision. Since she turned 12, things have begun changing with her vision. Today, she's 13, and the problems are getting worse. It's a heightened sense of who people really are that occurs when she catches a glimpse of them out of the corner of her eye. A kind teacher, who is always giving her extra help, seems sleazy and ugly. If she relaxes her eyes, she can see colors around people. For her 13th birthday, her parents are letting her walk around the state fair by herself, if she checks in at the agreed-upon times. Katrina buys a chocolate-dipped ice cream cone. 12:15. She has 45 minutes until the next check-in. She catches a glance of Nate Sullivan, jogging by in a gray hoodie. She never liked Sully. Sully, who's about 7 years older than she, is mean and sneaky. As he runs past her, she finds something even more disturbing about him. He's being followed. Katrina watches Sully as he stops and talks to a man with a grizzled beard. She tries to make out what's following him. It isn't something wholly visible, more like a disturbance in the air. Heat waves off the hot tarmac in the shape of a person. As she gains more awareness of the entity, it responds by becoming more solid. It turns towards her. Katrina has the feeling it's looking right at her. Help me. When Katrina hears those words, she's hit with a profound feeling of sadness. The chocolate goes bitter in her mouth. She throws the confection in the trash. Sully is being followed by a ghost, and he has done something very bad to her. Katrina's sadness turns to anger. Without thinking, she yells, "What did you do to her, Nate Sullivan?" across the dirt lot. Sully turns on her, red-faced and furious. "Shut the fuck up, you bitch!" Sully clenches and unclenches his fists. He leaves, cursing. Katrina knows people are staring at her, but she doesn't care. "What did you do to her, Sully?" Sully opens the door to the house at the corner of Skidmore and Culling. Another orange warning notice has been taped to the door. The electricity has been turned off for months, and his original roommates have left. He lives in the basement. Sully lights a candle and taps some powder into his spoon. He's pissed at that girl in the park. She must have heard the rumors or seen the missing posters. The cops had asked him about Dee Dee. They weren't looking too hard for a runaway kid with a drug problem. He told them that she was gone, and he didn't know where. It was true. He had no idea where someone went when they died. He chuckles to himself. As he drifts, he swears he can feel Dee Dee's presence. He's had the feeling before, but it's stronger. He can hear something, too. Dee Dee used to sit on the old radiator and swing her feet back and forth, bang her heels on the metal. Drove him crazy. Faintly, he can hear the thump of her shoe against the hollow metal. "Let me out." The voice brings Sully bolt upright. It's quiet, but he knows that voice. It's Dee Dee. Sully preps another hit. Katrina goes through the motions of eating her cake. She can't shake the plea for help. If no one can see the ghost, no one else can help. She's the girl's only hope. "I saw Nate Sullivan at the fair today," Katrina says, as casually as she can manage. "You didn't talk to him, did you?" her father asks sternly. Katrina shrugs in response. "Stay away from him, Katrina Cole. He's a drug addict. His girlfriend has been missing for a month now. She probably OD'd," her mother said. "No, she didn't, Mom," Katrina tries to explain. Her mother gets up from her seat. "Katrina Cole, you don't like that boy, do you? You can't be defending him, are you?" "No, I just think..." Her mother cuts her off. "Katrina Lene Cole, I swear sometimes you don't think at all. If you have some notion that bad boys are sexy, you're just dead wrong. I don't mean to be a bitch, but falling for the wrong guy can end very badly. You need to think." Katrina stops herself from trying to explain. "You're right, Mom. Do you mind if I go to my room and lie down? We can talk about this tomorrow when I've had time to think. Her mother beams with pride the way she always does when Katrina tells her she's right. Katrina goes to her room, opens the window, and crawls out. She comes to the house on Skidmore and Culling. She bends down to the narrow basement window. She can see Sully, asleep, next to a sputtering candle. She sees a white-painted radiator with a young woman on it, swinging her feet back and forth. It takes Katrina a moment to realize she can see through the girl. She stares at her until she can feel Wraith make the connection. How am I supposed to help you? Katrina thinks. The answer comes. In the back. Let me out. I want to go home. In the back? In the back of the house. Let me out. Please? The word please pulls at Katrina's heart. She goes to the back of the house. There's a chest freezer coated with grime. It's secured with a padlock. The tremendous sadness she had felt at the park returns as soon as she lays eyes on it. Katrina picks up a piece of rebar and hits the lock. It breaks. She opens the freezer. Dee Dee's slight frame has been bent to fit in the chest. Her lips are blue. There are bruises around her neck. Sully's voice jars her. You stupid little freak. I'm gonna kill you. He grabs Katrina and lifts her off the ground. Katrina flails and kicks, but Sully shakes her hard. Her eyes fill with stars. Dee Dee's ghost places her hand on Sully's shoulder. Sully drops her, suddenly. When Dee Dee's hand touches his shoulder, he freezes. He does not turn to look at the ghost. He stares straight ahead. Katrina has heard the phrase, white as a sheet, but she's never seen anyone lose all their color until now. Katrina climbs over a fence and drops into the neighboring yard. She looks behind her. Sully isn't chasing her. He's hunched over the freezer. Sully pulls Dee Dee's body out as the clouds gather overhead. A light rain spatters him as he cradles her body. He will stand on the corner of Skidmore and Culling with a dead girl in his arms for a full 12 minutes before a police car arrives. Katrina, 13, is running home as fast as she can. She realizes with dawning horror she's completely spaced on tomorrow's history test. She prays she can get back in the house without waking her baby brother, because she will never be able to explain.